I think in January, a lot of us felt very devastated and traumatized by the victim impact statements that were being released.
Our voices were taken from us for so long.
For our students especially, the disappointment runs deep, and the healing, we're in that process.
What happened at MSU made it impossible for people to say, we don't have a problem here.
It's not like we haven't been saying we need to make things better for a very long time. It's just that now there's a sense of urgency and people are listening to us a lot more.
We failed to listen when the survivors spoke up, and we failed repeatedly to hear them and to act on what we heard. We need to be different in the wake of what we've learned.
The fact of the matter is that it doesn't matter if this topic is uncomfortable to listen to or discuss.
The work ahead is to nurture trust, and that happens in the hallways, in the classrooms, walking across campus. We're beginning to see how the conversations that emerge there are being translated into concrete practices that will create a new culture.
As the facilitator for the research workshop on feminisms, genders, and sexualities, I really felt like we needed to have a response. The faculty and the graduate students worked together to collaborate on something where we were really using our expertise towards a project that would have potentially a broader audience. The sexual justice syllabus will hopefully provide some context, get some critical voices going so that we can anatomize what sexual violence looks like, think about it across a range of kinds of bodies, kinds of situations, kinds of spaces. We're pulling together texts by Audre Lorde, Toni Morrison, novels and also films and feminist theory. But something that came through was how important it was to foreground the voices of these women in the courtroom.
We seek justice, we deserve justice, and we will have it.
We're going to break the syllabus up into 7 sections. Each section will have a theme and then also days of the testimony so that those voices continue to be foregrounded throughout the syllabus. I'd like for it to become a resource for the classroom, but also for anybody who's interested in reading up on these issues. For me, this syllabus feels like one of many small efforts I think that faculty and grad students and undergrads and staff are making that helps me see that there's a brighter future for MSU, that there's a potential for change.
At the Center for Gender and Global Context, we have almost 300 affiliated faculty across campus. All of them are invested in figuring out the best path to change, to make things better.
A lot of it's community building and rebuilding trust. We've thought very carefully about our role on campus and the way that we can harness academic resources, knowledge, practices to help the community face the current challenges. The Jensen is really a hub. It's a facilitator, it's a community builder, and it's a comfort. It's a home, it's a safe space.
We have to create new conversations and new relationships and new alliances to collectively forge a path for how are we going to make this a better campus.
I started a Transformative Justice Speakers Series designed to think about alternative responses to violence, in particular campus sexual assault. That speaker series turned into the Transformative Justice Initiative. So we're kind of parsing out what shifts we need to make both institutionally and culturally to do better. Transformative Justice wants to think about the conditions that made the violence able to happen in the first place and figure out a way to address those conditions to make it less likely that that kind of harm can happen again. We're training people at the decision-making levels to understand a transformative justice philosophy and approach, gathering deans who understand we have a problem and are willing to sort of take risks and mobilize resources in the directions we need at this moment.
As the academic leaders at this institution, it is our responsibility to lead the rest of campus in a way that helps us heal from this and make the culture change that is so important happen. The deans worked very hard to create a document which is now known as the Dei Framework Document that sets out a plan for increasing diversity, equity, and inclusion at MSU.
The educational endeavor is about transforming lives, empowering people to chart a path that is meaningful, that makes the world a more just and better place. We needed to work intentionally so that we could embody a new way of being together that could be a model for higher education.
Now we're in a place where the humanities can push to say, not only are we going to assess the problem, like what's wrong here, but we're actually going to be part of building a response to that problem.
Whenever you have these moments of crisis, you have opportunity. Lots of people now are stepping up and demanding that we do better. This is the historical moment when we can create change.
We're not doing this in 1 year and it be done.
If this is going to be successful, it has to be change at the institutional habit level.
We would be at the forefront of something that a lot of universities need.